Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of The Charming Empire along Kagemitsu Togawa's route. We're still dealing with this whole wedding thing, which we really don't want to. But we have to have that wedding dress fitted, if we don't want it to be all baggy or too tight for our ceremony, I suppose. So let's see how we handle things. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. I'm having my last fitting for my wedding dress. Tomorrow is the big day. When the maids try to help me with my fitting, I insist on doing it myself. It's hard to put on the dress by myself, but I don't feel like talking to anyone. Well, don't talk to them, just let them help you without talking. What a beautiful dress. I know this isn't your average dress. I don't want to have to wear this. I can't make the maids wait forever, so I watch myself sigh in the mirror before calling them in. I'm done. The maids rush into my room. Wow! Oh my! The maids just stare at me in silence. It's so embarrassing being stared at that I have to break the ice. So does it look weird? Weird? Not at all. You look lovely, right? The other maids nod in agreement. You look really lovely. Really? Your husband-to-be is lucky to get such a pretty bride. Bride? I repeat the maid's words in a whisper. The reality of it still hasn't set in. I'm sure he'll make you very happy. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. I wonder if the maids actually think I'm happy. There's nothing to congratulate me about. I'm still a jumble of emotions. I'm still wishing for a way out of this marriage. Thank you. It takes all I've got to squeeze out my thanks. We'll try to fit you, so stay still. Okay. The maids gather around me with pins and thread in their hands. That reminds me, Mom used to be good at sewing. When I remember my mom, a wave of loneliness washes over me. What would she say if she knew I was getting married like this? What's wrong, Princess? I suddenly get too emotional, and the maids' voices bring me back to reality. It's nothing. I hope so. Does your dress feel uncomfortable anywhere? No. Yet the maids continue to work. A thought passes through my mind as the maids move their hands. Tomorrow, I'll be wearing this dress and getting married to a foreign prince. Once I do that, I won't come back here very often, if ever. In fact, I might not ever come back again. According to Kagemitsu's conversation that I overheard yesterday, the revolution starts tomorrow. I don't want to think that Kagemitsu is planning a revolution, so I try to convince myself that I misunderstood. I don't know if Kagemitsu is really planning a revolution or what's going through his head. I pretend that things are unclear, and too afraid of asking Kagemitsu about it and finding out it's all true. But at this rate, I'll be married to a foreign prince before I know it without any rights of my own. I need to see Kagemitsu and find out what's going on. I'll regret it if I don't ask him about it before I leave. The maids suddenly freeze in place. What are they so scared of? Oh, what's wrong? Is the dress uncomfortable? No, it's not about the dress. The maids look confused. Then what's wrong? I have a favor to ask all of you. I take a deep breath and face my servants. I need you to tell me where Kagemitsu's room is. The maids look surprised and share a glance. Lord Togawa's room? Yes. I don't think we can tell you even though you're the princess. You're about to be married. Even if it is Lord Togawa, it's not appropriate for you to visit a man's room at this hour. Oh, come on, you just need to talk. It's not for a rendezvous, I swear. I know. I don't blame them for being suspicious of me for going to a man's room on the night before my wedding. But I have to go today. Please understand and show me the way. I bow down to the maids. There's something I have to speak with Kagemitsu about. I'll regret it forever if I go off to get married without doing anything. I'll be back as soon as I'm done, so please, tell me where his room is. Take a right when you leave your room. Then take a left at the next corner. Keep going straight and you'll find Lord Togawa's room. They all helped me. Whether they feel backed into a corner or my feelings get across, the maids reluctantly tell me where to find Kagemitsu's room. Thank you. I run to the door. Wait, Princess! I'm afraid they're not going to let me go. You're still wearing your dress. At least change first. Oh. I look down at myself. This fancy dress will probably stand out in the hall. Yeah, think? I quickly change into my regular clothes and walk toward the door. Sorry about this. I'll be right back. I dash out of the room. Off to Kagemitsu's! I follow the maid's directions and end up in front of a pair of closed doors. This must be it. Kagemitsu has stopped by my room a lot, but it's my first time at his room. I didn't know where it was until I worked up the courage to ask. I need to talk to him. I take a deep breath and knock on the door. There's a pause before Kagemitsu answers.
Yes, who is it?
It's me. That's really helpful. I stumble over my words, but the doors fly open.
What are you doing here?
Kagemitsu looks very surprised. But happy, right? You're happy to see me? I have something to ask you, so I decided to stop by.
Something to ask me?
Kagemitsu stares at me for a minute until finally breaking the ice. Aren't you gonna invite me in?
Well, come in. This isn't a good place to talk.
I walk into Kagemitsu's room. Oh, his room looks so Spartan compared to everything else in the palace. So this is what his room is like. I rudely look around. One of the walls is entirely a bookshelf, lined with hundreds of books. They all look really complicated. Some of the covers even have titles in different foreign languages.
So, what do you want to ask me about?
I turn away from the bookshelf and look at him. Kagemitsu is smiling, but it's not his usual calm smile. He probably already knows why I'm here. The room falls silent until I open my mouth. What was that conversation with the cafe owner about? Kagemitsu turns pale. Okay, he didn't know what I was going to ask him about if he reacts like that. Sorry, I just happened to overhear. Kagemitsu just stays silent and listens. I couldn't believe what I heard, so I wanted to ask you about it.
I see. You overheard us.
Kagemitsu laughs weakly. I can't tell what he's thinking, so I speak up again. I heard you talk about a revolution, but I misheard you, right? He hesitates before he answers.
Everything you heard is true.
What? Kagemitsu confirms my fears, and that glimmer of hope I had fades away. Come on, this could be a new hope. If he does the revolution before you go, then you don't have to get married and run away. It doesn't matter which one I choose, so I'm going to say, why a revolution? Because I'm not going to say, I trusted you, because it makes it sound like I feel betrayed. I'm fine with this. Why a revolution? Kagemitsu knows there's no such thing as a peaceful revolution.
I'm sorry, I can't answer that.
There's a pained look on his face.
No matter what happens, I won't let you get hurt. I want you to trust me on that.
I can't say anything. I don't know what he's trying to do anymore. But if he's telling the truth, I'm confused why he chose to start a revolution. I want to trust you. Kagemitsu has never lied to me. Trusting him now is the only thing I can do. But I don't know what to think. I don't know what's wrong or right anymore.
I understand how you feel, but I still need you to trust me.
That's not fair.
Maybe. It's pretty selfish of me to ask you to trust me after making you so confused.
He casts his eyes downward in self-mockery, and I can't take my eyes off his profile. I don't know what he wants me to do. It makes me anxious that he doesn't tell me anything. I can't trust him like this. This isn't fair. It really isn't fair. I'm frustrated and sad at myself for thinking I can't trust him. Then, you should make me trust you.
Make you?
Suddenly, a huge explosion sounds off somewhere, and the whole room shakes. Uh-oh, I think some of your friends are a little ahead of schedule. What was that? It's clear that something's going on in the palace. When I give him a questioning look, Kagemitsu just sighs.
Well, this isn't good. I told them the plan starts tomorrow.
Is the revolution starting? What's going on? I'm suddenly terrified at how calm Kagemitsu is. Ah, yes, we are continuing on, of course, because that was short. Episode 13. The commotion in the hallway gets increasingly louder. People's screams are interspersed with bomb bursts. Each time I hear an explosion, my heart beats in terror.
They're really going at it.
Despite all the noise outside, Kagemitsu is strangely calm, as if he's just watching a movie. How can you be so calm? There's a war out there.
It's nothing for you to worry about.
I can't get over how calm Kagemitsu is. How many times am I going to say that? Kagemitsu reassures me every time there's an explosion. I'm still anxious, but I manage to calm down a little. I can hear the servants rushing through the halls. Is this really okay? Is it going to get violent? I can't hide my confusion, but Kagemitsu just sighs.
I need them to work according to plan. I thought through all the possible outcomes, but it's not a good idea to get too excited.
Then, are these bombings part of your plan?
Yeah, well, I organized the whole thing, but they're not proceeding exactly how I planned. I told them to infiltrate the palace from the back and wait there. Why did it turn out like this?
Apparently somebody wasn't clear on things or didn't agree. A troubled smile plays on his lips and he sighs again. Compared with all the shouting going on outside, Kagemitsu's room is very calm.
I even went to the trouble of checking the guards' positions and drawing a map to avoid them.
I don't understand his motives, but he's really trying to start a revolution. That makes me really sad. Well, I guess Amane didn't really get to see the bad state of the town so much in this route as she did in the other ones. The only thing she got to see was how Soshi didn't help with the fire. Revolutions can't be easy. They probably take a lot of people to carry out. If the head of the group is someone as high rank as Kagemitsu, who has free reign of the palace, their rate of success is very high. Revolution. Infiltrate the palace. These kinds of words don't suit a kind person like Kagemitsu. I wonder why this is happening. What exactly happens in a revolution, and what are their motives? You are one naive girl, Amane. Suddenly, I remember the first day I came to the palace. Lots of people pushed against the car. I don't know if they knew I was in the car or not, but all those people were rebels against the palace. Even though they didn't know me, they attacked the car that represented the royal family. The palace's absolute authority. Soshi! Realizing he's in danger, I rush to the door, but Kagemitsu stops me.
I won't let you go to him.
Oh, do you plan for his death in this? Kagemitsu holds me from behind. Let me go! If I don't go now!
I'm sorry, but I can't let you go.
Why? Why can't you? I need to go!
No, stay here with me.
Why won't he let me go to Soshi? Is he afraid I'll expose him, or... He's afraid you'll get hurt. A terrifying thought comes to mind. I try to shake Kagemitsu off me, but he won't let me go. The more I move, the stronger his hold gets. Let me go to Soshi. He might be in trouble. I need to go.
And don't worry, Soshi's fine.
I stop fighting back. Really? I was afraid the rebels were after Soshi, but it looks like I was wrong.
Really, I told the rebels not to kill anyone.
Well, apparently you told the rebels that the attack was tomorrow, and you told them other things, and they're not listening, so, Soshi's not exactly safe. I don't believe you. The noise outside is getting louder, and it makes me even more anxious. How do I know the rebels won't go against what you told them? On my first day in the capital, I was the rebels' target. I can't believe people like that will keep their promise with Kagemitsu.
I'm sure they'll keep their promise.
How? How can you be so sure? They're going against Kagemitsu's orders as we speak.
We came here with the same goal, so we're all on the same page.
Goal? That must be to lead a successful revolution, but how did they define success? I question if all the rebels are really imagining the same kind of success, and how this revolution will end.
It's hard to organize everyone, but we have our own set of rules that can't be broken.
Rules? Like what?
No unnecessary bloodshed. We don't really want to hurt anyone.
That might be an ideal revolution, but is it really possible?
It might be difficult, but we're going to see it through. This will be a bloodless revolution.
Oh dear Kagemitsu, I never would have taken you for the clueless type. I gasp. Again, it doesn't matter which one I choose, but I'm gonna say, are you serious? Are you serious? Kagemitsu speaks with quiet resolve.
Completely serious. We've come this far. There's no turning back now.
His voice is calmer than the voices in the hallway. Kagemitsu has chosen this path. No matter what happens, he's determined to see the revolution through to the end, and I can't convince him otherwise. But if the revolution fails, he'll... I press my hands to my chest when the scary thought comes to mind. What if the revolution fails?
You don't need to worry about that. This revolution doesn't involve you at all.
Of course it involves me. I'm worried about you.
Huh. It wasn't supposed to be like this.
Kagemitsu holds me even tighter. What?
I promised myself I'd protect you no matter what.
He mumbles to himself as he hides his face in my shoulder.
Now it's not clear who's protecting who.
I don't know what Kagemitsu really wants or why he's starting a revolution, but his mumblings sound like they're from the heart. That's not true. You've always protected me. He protected me when I first came to the palace, when I had trouble with my studies, and on the day of the fire. I gave Kagemitsu's arms a squeeze. And now it's my turn to protect you. Kagemitsu looks at me in surprise. I might not be as powerful as you are, but I can't stay quiet when people dear to me are in trouble. Please let me protect you. Kagemitsu still looks surprised.
People dear to you?
Yeah, you're dear to me. What's wrong?
I'm sorry. I know you probably don't mean it that way, but that sounds just like a proposal that I read in a book.
A proposal? I cock my head at the unfamiliar word as Kagemitsu tries to find the right words to explain. What's a proposal?
Here we call it asking someone's hand in marriage.
Marriage? I suddenly forgot myself and scream out loud. That's not what I meant at all. I mean, I like you, but...
Don't worry, I know.
Kagemitsu smiles like he always does. I'm relieved to see him act like the Kagemitsu I know.
Well, this might be the wrong time for me to say this, but...
Kagemitsu wraps his arms around me with my head buried in his chest. I feel a steady warmth as I melt into his embrace.
I wish I could just carry you away.
Oh, it's the perfect time to say that. Let's do it. Let's go now. It's already chapter 13. Kagemitsu. I'm about to hug him back when...
I'm afraid I can't allow that.
I spin around and see Soshi at the door. Soshi, you're okay! As I breathe a sigh of relief, Kagemitsu glares at Soshi behind me. Soshi ignores Kagemitsu's glare and continues in a cold tone.
My sister is engaged to be married. I would appreciate it if you would control your selfish behavior.
Soshi! I'm shocked, but that's the first thing he's worried about. I don't even want to get married. I grab onto Kagemitsu's sleeve. He smiles and steps in front of me to protect me.
It didn't take you much time to get here. It looks like I miscalculated. It's not difficult to know what you're thinking. We've been together for a long time. Oh, I'm glad to hear you say that, but I wish you could have said it sooner.
Kagemitsu keeps his eyes on Soshi and walks into the middle of the room. Kagemitsu! He picks up a sword and points it at Soshi. I sure hope you're good with that.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to understand how you think for the past few years.
Soshi just stares at Kagemitsu in silence. He's not going to run away? I gaze at the two men in fear. They stare at each other in silence before Kagemitsu breaks the ice.
I want to make you open your eyes. This is my last duty as your right-hand man.
Does that mean he plans for the revolution to succeed, or does that mean he plans on dying? That's an ominous statement. Kagemitsu's eyes sparkle with determination as they stare my brother down. Alright, well, the last episode that we can read, I think, is 14. I don't think we can read 15. 15 is the end, right? I'm not sure, but whatever it is, next video will be the last one with Kagemitsu. I really wish I could read endings, but yeah, his route turned out much more interesting than I thought it would. Well, I'll save ruminations for the next one anyway, so hope to see you there or in some of my other videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye, everybody.